Hi budget babes and budget bros, it is Julia Creations and I'm back with another video. Oh my gosh, you guys, so as you can see by the cover of this video, we are going to be talking about how to use the budget planner. So guys, I'm gonna put a little sticker of my original how to use the budget planner. This was the first budget planner that I dropped and it's a few years just late. So we are going to talk about how to use the budget planner in full. We are bringing a lot of new clients in and new people are getting our budget planner. So welcome to the Budget Babe family. If you're new here, hi guys, my name is Julia Creations. I am a budget coach that teach people how to get their finances on check, whether they're wanting to pay off debt, build their savings, just so many different things, get their dream home, all of that fun stuff, get out of, just debt, get more comfortable with their finances. And I created these beautiful planners. So the first thing we're going to go over is what's the difference between each planner. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a full budget, you guys. I mean, we're going to use every single page in the planner and talk about it. I am going to be dropping a series that's going to break down each page as well, just so you can go back for a reference and see how to use each page if you get confused in your process of starting your budget journey. A lot of people ask me what is the difference between all 4 planners that I sell, and I'm gonna tell you and break it simple. There's literally no difference, you guys, but the colors. So if you guys are new here, when I first dropped Julia Creations, we started with the standard pink planner. That was the first planner that ever came out. And then after having pink for a while, we had some people who are like, I don't really like pink. Can you possibly do different colors? So that's when we dropped purple and blue, and we also dropped bundle kits. We did start with the pink bundle at first, and then we dropped the purple and blue. So this is the planner here, you guys. This is the purple one. We also have blue, and then we also have a black and green, which is called the Budget Bro Planner, and this is made for our men or our non-girly girls that want to start their financial journey. So now you guys may ask what's included in each planner. We have our positive financial affirmations, positive words to get you excited for starting your budget journey. Then we also have our goal setting page. You want to write down your goals for the year. This is a 12-month undated planner. Then you have your vision board, your monthly calendar. So guys, when I dropped my first planner, it didn't have a calendar in there. So now we have a calendar book inside of the planner. So you can go ahead and write your bills and expenses in here, guys. This calendar is small but mighty. The planner size is an A5, but it still gets the job done. So once we go from the calendar, we have our monthly budget. So what is our monthly budget page? This is where we are going to set out our budget for the month. So this is the template here. Then we have our weekly/bi-weekly template, which is the best page of the planner that all my clients seem to love is this page. We have our bill payments page to cross off your bills as you pay them. Your 2 expense tracker pages to keep a paper trail of all of your spending. Then we have our debt tracker, or what actually happens for the month page, our savings tracking jar, our notes page, and then our monthly reflection page. It repeats for 12 months, and we also have a glossary in the back. So all color planners have the same templates. The only differences are the colors. And then of course our black and green one is a little bit more on the masculine side, so it doesn't have all these girly aspects in it, which is perfect for your brothers, cousins, uncles, husbands, anybody that wants to get their finances on track. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go through how to use every single page in the planner, so that way you can see if this is a planner for you, or if you do have my planner, how you use the planner so you can be on track with your finances. We also do have private consultations available as well, you guys, but let's get straight into it. So you guys, the budget planner color we're going to be using today is purple, which is one of my favorites. The purple has sold out, so we don't have any more purple available until around next month or early November, you guys. So late October, basically. This is the planner we're going to be using today to fill out and show how to use the budget planner. So we have our positive financial affirmations in the front, as mentioned, our goal setting page. So right here, you're going to go ahead and write down what your financial goals are. So who this planner belongs to, what are your financial goals, what do you struggle the most with, and what do you really want to save up for, and the year that you're starting your planner. So the next thing we'll go ahead and do in our planner is go ahead and set up our vision board. So you're going to print out of pictures of things you want to save for, or just whatever your financial goals are, so you have a model of what you want to be seeing going on with your goals. Like, put the picture of the house you're saving for, put a picture of a thing that says debt free. Whatever your goal is, you're going to go through and set that up on the vision board, you guys. So the next page we have is our monthly calendar. So in here, we're going to go ahead and set up our budget for the month. So we're going to go ahead and write down all of our bills and expenses. All right, you guys, so we're going to go ahead and put this as the month of September, because this is when we're starting this planner. And we're going to go ahead and set up our dates for September. So I'm going to go ahead and write down all of the dates for the month. So the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is fill in all of our bills for the month. So bills, credit card dates, memberships, if you have any memberships, subscriptions, paydays. We're going to go ahead and write all of this in our calendar. I'm going to time elapse this and I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, so now that we went in and wrote down our bills and expenses in our calendar, we have a layout of everything that's coming out for the month and the dates. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to set up a monthly budget. So we have two different templates. We have a monthly and we have a weekly / bi-weekly. So I like to do a monthly to see an overview of everything that's coming in for the month. So this way we can adjust our fixed bills versus our variables. So our fixed bills are going to be our bills that are usually the same every single month. Our variables are going to be our expenses that vary each month. So when you go to the back of the planner, there is a glossary in the back if you do get confused by any of these terms. But what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to set up our monthly budget. So this is going to be for the month of September. And remember, guys, this is undated. So as soon as you get your planner, you can start. Our budget goal is going to be to pay off our credit card first. We want to pay off our credit card and then potentially work our way to paying off our loan. And we're going to talk about what the credit card balance is here in a little bit. So in this budget, we are paid weekly. So we're going to say our source is weekly. And the weekly amount is going to be $1,100 weekly. So you can put your amount before tax. Some people like to have that for tax purposes, and then you could put your amount after tax. I'm just going to put it's weekly as the amount here, and then after tax, our total for the month. We're going to go ahead and use our handy dandy calculator. 1,100 times 4 is going to be $4,400 for the month as our monthly income. So I'm going to go ahead and write in my fixed expenses, and then I'm going to go ahead and write down my variable expenses, and I'm going to time elapse this and be right back. So just like that, you guys, I went ahead and set up the monthly budget. So keep in mind, you guys, your variables are going to have your credit cards on here. Credit cards fall under the variable side because we can use a credit card, pay it off, interest rates, balances. We cannot always have a balance on our credit card, so that falls on our variable side. So keep in mind, guys, if you want to put anything for fun or entertainment, you're going to put it on this side as well in your variable spending. On this budget, we're not focusing on that for this month. You can always change it per month as well, you guys, your variables, and adjust it. And then here's our main bills. So we're going to go ahead and add this up for the month and see what it totals to. So our first, our fixed side, we got $15.55 plus $140 plus $55 plus $85 plus $75 plus $155 plus $340, which is going to be $24.05. And then, guys, loans are going to be on the fixed side because loans are going to be a set amount until you pay that off. Even if it does have interest on it, interest rates are usually lower than credit cards. And our loans, once we pay off the loan, it's not like we can rack up a balance again on that loan. That's why it goes on our fixed side. So our variable side, guys, you'll add up all your credit cards. If you have multiple credit cards, you'll put that on here as well. For this credit card, we only have one, so it's going to be $100 plus our subscriptions. Subscriptions are technically a fixed expense, but I put them on the variable side because you can always cut those to save money. So our variables are going to be $438. So I'm going to go ahead and take $438 plus $24.05, which is going to be $28.43. as our expense total. So we want to know how much money we're going to have left over after our bills and expenses. This is called our cash surplus. How we get this number, we take our full income, which in this case is going to be $4,400, and we're going to minus it by what's coming out each month. So we're going to take $4,400 and minus it from $28.43, which is going to give us $15.57 left over. Okay, so that's a nice cash surplus. But how do we see this cash surplus? A lot of people don't know how to find their cash surplus. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to set up a paycheck breakdown. So this has room for weekly breakdowns and bi-weekly. If you're paid weekly, we're going to use every week. We're going to show that example. And if you're paid bi-weekly, we're going to use every other week. So let's go ahead and set this up. So how we're going to set up our weekly budget, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to call our weeks the weeks of. So what is the week of? We're going to go ahead and say Sunday to Monday or Sunday to Sunday is called our weeks of. So we're going to go ahead and say September 1st to September 8th is 1 week of. So you see right here we have a section that says week of. So our first week of the month is going to be September 1st to September 8th. This is just to see a full overview of your whole entire week. And our payday is going to fall on the 6th this week. So we're going to say payday of on this top corner. And we're going to say 9/6. We're going to be bringing in $1,100. All right, the next week of is going to be the 9th to the 15th. So we're going to say September 9th to September 15th. And the payday for this week will be the 13th. Once again, guys, if you're paid every other week, you're still going to do your week of. It just won't be a payday. You'll be skipping your paydays to cover each week. And $1,100 will be coming in this week. And we're going to do it again for the week of the 16th to the 22nd. September 16th to September 22nd. The payday for this week is going to fall on the 20th, which is also going to be $1,100. And then we're going to do our last week of the month, which is going to be September 23rd to the 29th. So the week of September 23rd to September 29th. And this will be the payday this would be the payday of $927 with $1,100 coming in again. All right, you guys. Alright, you guys, so now that we went in and we wrote our weeks of, we are going to go through and set up our budget. So we're going to look at our first week of. So the first week of the month is going to be September 1st to the 8th. This is the day we get paid in this week of. So you guys, keep in mind, our first paycheck is going to fall on the 6th. But we have to cover these bills with our previous check. So this last check, we're going to be using 2 checks to cover our rent. And we're going to talk about how we're going to split that in a second. So we're not going to worry about this bill or this bill, because that would have had to been covered with our check that we received before our first September check. So we're going to go ahead and highlight this and section it off. And we're going to go ahead and put that this fell under our August pay period. It's going to make more sense, you guys, once we get into the budget we're doing now. So we're just going to go ahead and put August check covered. All right, you guys, so our August check had to cover these bills because our payday doesn't come until the 6th. So we're going to go ahead and section this off. So we have our payday on the 6th, which is going to be $1,100. And we have to cover all the bills that come out before the 13th, because that is our next payday. So now what we're going to go ahead and do in our week of section, we're going to put these bills in there. So what does that mean? We're going to cover all the bills that fall in this period. So we know for a fact this week with the paycheck of the 6th, we have to cover these 2 subscriptions. So our subscription total for the week is going to be, let's see here, 11 plus 10. We're going to spend $21 on subscriptions for this week of. Oh, sorry, you guys. This subscription is supposed to be $8, not 10. So I'm going to just put an $8 here. And sorry, guys, my dog is snoring. So our subscriptions for the week are going to total to $19 because we have 11 plus 8 here. So $19 is going to be our subscription total for the week. So now we're going to go ahead and see what else we have. So we have our gym membership that's going to be coming out, which is going to be $55. So we're going to go ahead and put our gym membership over here. So we got gym, which is going to be $55. And then we're going to go ahead and cross off this on our fixed side. So as we pay things off, so here's our gym membership. Sometimes it's just good to section it off, you guys, so you can proof to make sure you're not missing anything. So there is our gym membership for the week. And then let's see what else we have here next. Look at the glitter. Yeah, guys, I do offer glitter highlighters as well. So then we have our Wi-Fi bill, which is going to be $85. That will also fall on this check. So we're going to go ahead and emphasize on Wi-Fi for $85. And we're going to go ahead and put our Wi-Fi bill on here. Wi-Fi, which is going to be $85. Perfect. And then let's see what else we have that will be coming out this week. We also have our phone bill, which is going to be $75. So we're going to go ahead and section off our phone bill. Just going to be $75. Alright, you guys, and that's how easy it was to section off our bills per paycheck. So now we're going to go ahead and set up our variables. So we know for our monthly budget, we're supposed to spend $100 on gas. If we're paid weekly, that means we're spending about $25 per week on gas. So we need to set up our variables. Then our groceries, we spend about $200 per month, which is going to give us about $50 per week. Okay. So now we have all of our variables and our fixed bills set up for the week. So let's add them up. Our bills, 55 plus 85 plus 75 is going to total to 215 for our fixed bills. So now let's go ahead and add up our variables. $19 plus 25 plus 50. And then guys, you're going to adjust this as your bills come in. So maybe you have a spending budget this week and you're going to section off how much you're going to do for spending. Let's say you have something for your kids, another credit card. You're going to go ahead and put it on this variable side. So 95 plus 215 plus 94. Our expenses for the week are going to total to 309. So this is almost the same as using a zero-based budget, because you're not going to have anything left over going to anything else because you've given all your money a purpose. So what we're going to go ahead and do is figure out how much money we have left over this week by taking 1,100 and minusing it from 309. This is the income that's coming in. This is expenses that's going out. The same way we had the monthly template. The only difference is we're breaking it down per paycheck. 1,100 minus 309 is going to be 791 going in our savings. So whoops, we have a good amount from this check. Not too heavy, super nice. That's how much is going to go in our savings for this week of, according to our budget. Once again, it's going to look different for you based off your expenses. We are done with this first week of the month. Now we're going to go to our next week of. Alright, you guys, so now we're going to go to our next payday of. So our next payday of falls on the 13th. And these are going to be all of our bills that are going to come out in this time frame. So we have our loan, which is going to be $340, and our Capital One credit card. So we're going to go ahead and section this off. We have our loan, which is going to be $340. Our loan for $340. And then we also have, let's see here, our Capital One credit card for this week too. Oh, and I almost forgot something super big too, our car insurance, you guys. Our car insurance for $155. We don't want to miss out on that car insurance. So we got car insurance, our loan, $155. And then we have our Capital One, which is going to be $100. So car insurance and Capital One is going to fall on this check. So those are those: loan, car insurance, our Capital One. So we have everything in this section from the 13th to the 19th. Our next payday falls on the 20th. I'm just going to go ahead and write in our variables again, you guys, our variables that repeat. So we already made our gas $25 per week. I'm going to go ahead and put gas for $25. We're going to go ahead and put groceries for $50. And then we're going to go ahead and add it up. $340 plus $155 is going to be $495 for our fix. And then we have our Capital One, which is going to be $100 plus $25 plus $50. 100 plus 25 plus 50. It's going to be 175 this week. 175 plus 495 brings our expense total to 670 this week. So 1,100 is coming in and 670 is going out. 1,100 minus 670. We're going to be putting 430 in our savings. Remember, guys, our goal should be to have $1,557 left over according to our monthly budget. So we're just figuring out how we find that per paycheck. Alright, you guys, and just like that, that was our week of September 9th to the 15th, the payday of the 13th. That's how much goes in our savings, and we'll be done with that week. So now we're looking at the paycheck, which is going to be on the 20th. So the payday that falls on the 20th, what bills and expenses come out of this check? Let's go ahead and section it off. Let me see. I kind of want to use like a green color. Go ahead and use this green. So we have our payday, which falls on the 20th. And this is going to cover us all the way until the 27th. That's not bright enough for me. Hold on, y'all. I gotta find another one. It's not bright enough for me. Let's go ahead and use this one. All right, that's more like it. All right, you guys, so this is gonna be this payday of, I'm trying not to be so thick so it doesn't go through. Oh yeah, it's not bleeding through. All right, guys, so here's our payday, and then we mainly have subscriptions coming out for this check. So we have our 2 subscriptions, which is $7 and $12. So 7 and 12 here is gonna give us $19 for subscriptions. So subs we're gonna do for 19. All right, subs 19, and then we'll have gas again for 25, and then we'll have groceries for 50. So guys, remember when I said we were going to split our rent, so we're not paying one check for our rent? This is where we're going to do our split. So as you can see, our rent totals to $15.55 per month. So we're going to use our 2 last checks of the month to cover rent. So we're going to go ahead and put $777 from this check away to cover half of rent, and then on the 27th we'll pay the other half of rent because rent will be due on the 1st. Even though we'll get paid again in October on the 3rd, we want to make sure we have our rent by the 1st. So we're going to go ahead and put rent $777 because that's going to split us. And remember, you guys, this August check covered the rent and the utilities. We're going to use our last check to cover the utilities, the 27th check, but we're going to make sure we cover our rent with this check. So we got rent for $777, and then here's our other expenses. So let's go ahead and add up our week, you guys. For our fix, we'll have $777 coming out. And then our variables, we have subscriptions due this week for 19, gas for 25, groceries for 50. So $94 is going to go to our variables. So we're going to go ahead and take 94 plus 777 plus 94 is going to give us $871 for our expense total. And then we're going to go ahead and take 1100 and we're going to minus it from 871. 1100 minus 871 is going to be 229 going in our savings this week. And just like that, we have been building our savings every single week. All right, you guys, so that will be the week of September 16th to the 22nd and our payday of the 20th. All right, y'all, super simple, easy. I also meant to section off the loan with this check. This color, section that off. And then we're going to section off basically the rent, even though that this is October's rent. All right. Boom, 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 pal. All right, y'all, so now we're going to go ahead and look at this picture, guys. So the last week of the month will be the payday on the 27th, and this is basically going to be preparing us for all the bills that are going to come out the first week of October. Our first paycheck of October is going to be on the 4th, so we need to cover out all of our bills and expenses that will come out before the 4th. So it's just going to be our second portion of our rent. We're going to cover October's rent, and then we're also going to cover our utility bills and then our variables that repeat again. That way we're prepared. So we already paid off the first portion of our rent. So all we have left for October's rent is going to be $777. That stops us from having to try to use one full check that we don't have to pay for rent. So we got rent, which is going to be $777. And then for our variable expenses, we're going to go ahead and do gas again for $25. Oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. I forgot to put utilities. Utility. We're also going to pay with this check, which is going to be 140. See, I almost went without having a boo-boo. Or a mistake. Y'all gonna be like, ew. Or a mistake. 140. So this is going to be 9. I can make this look like a 1. 917. Yeah, there we go. So we got gas again, and then we'll have groceries again for 50. Yeah, I saved myself. Yeah. All right. So 25 plus 50 is going to be 75. All right. So we'll have 917 plus 75 is going to be 992. We're going to take 1100. We're going to minus it from 992. It's going to give us 108 in our savings. All right, you guys, 108 is going to go in our savings for this week, and we officially finished our budget for the month. And that's as simple as it is, you guys. That's how you set up your budget and section everything off. I'm going to go ahead and section this in pink just so you guys see that it's a duplicate for October. Basically, October's duplicate for this week. So boom, you guys, let's see if our numbers match. We're supposed to have $15.57 left over in our savings, and this is how we found that $15.57. Let's add it up and see if it's correct. So we're going to take $791 plus $430 plus $229 plus 108 is going to give us $15.58. So we had a little dollar extra, so we know that our budget is on track. So now what we're going to do after we set up our budget, we're going to go ahead and write down all of our bills and our due dates here. So yes, we're going to go ahead and set up our bill payments, and then I'm going to show you guys what it's like if we use our whole expense tracker for a month, then how we use our debt tracker and add everything up. So I'm going to act as if I did this whole budget for the month and write down an expense tracker and all that stuff. So you're going to see how we fill out this page. So let's go ahead and fill out our bill payments first. Alright, you guys, and just like that, here's our bill tracker, so we cross off our bills as we pay them. So now I'm going to go ahead and do a whole expense tracker for the month and act as if the month has already went by. I'm going to write down just a typical spending and how you guys will use your expense tracker. So we're going to break our expenses into 3 different categories: planned, unplanned, and impulsive. So planned is going to be everything in our budget. Unplanned is going to be emergencies that come up. And then impulsive is going to be anything that goes over our budget or wasn't in our budget. So we're going to go ahead and do this for the month of September. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to fill this expense tracker in, and then we're going to talk about how you're going to break this expense tracker down and add up your spending for the month. All right, you guys, and just like that, that is our expense tracker for the month. If you want to section it off to your weeks of, you can. You're just going to go ahead and set up your weeks of payments. So you just section off your weeks of to match your weekly budget, just to see how much you spent basically each week. And we have the 9th to the 15th, so I'm just going to go ahead and section this off. And this is better to do when you're doing it day by day and all that good stuff. And then we got to the 22nd, the 18th to the 22nd, and then the 25th to the 29th. So that's how you section off all your weeks of. As you can see, that breaks that down. So now what you're going to go ahead and do, since you finished your expense tracker, you're going to go ahead, and of course this is going to be for the whole month, you're going to add everything up and break it down into categories to see how much you actually spent. So this would be for the month of September. We're going to act as if we're finished in September, and we're going to go ahead and section off all of our expenses to see how much we actually spent for the month, see if it's stuck to our budget, see how much money we have left over to put towards our debt, since our goal is to pay off debt. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to break these down into categories to make sure it matches. So let's go ahead and do that. Whew, you guys, that's a job within itself. But going through and adding up your whole expense tracker is your second job. So we went through and we wrote down all of our expenses for the month, and we're adding them up to make sure it matches the budget we set for the month. So as you can see here, we had some impulsiveness because we didn't have this in our budget. We had an emergency come up that we had to handle with one of our checks. And as you can see, you can break down when that actually happened in your expense tracker by breaking down the weeks of, so you can actually see where that took place and where you had to pull money from your check or to potentially your savings. So awesome, you guys. Now we're going to go ahead and reality check. So let's go ahead and add up how much we spent in each category. Eating out would technically be impulsive, but we're going to put it under the food category just so we can see how much we spent for the month on that. So for housing, we spent $15.55, which was planned. For utilities and phone and Wi-Fi, we spent $300. With food, we spent $240. With variables, we spent $213. With fixed, we spent $155. With our etc. category, we went ahead and we spent $520. So our total of expenses for the month totaled to $29.83. So we totaled to spend $28.43 for the month, and we made $4,400 for the month. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take our $4,400 and we're gonna minus it from our total of expenses. So our total of expenses, we're gonna put total expense is going to be $29.83, and then this is our total income. So we want to see how much we were actually able to save with all the money we spent. So we're going to go ahead and take $4,400 and we're going to minus it from $29.83. So we actually saved $14.17 this month versus what we were actually supposed to save, because we had an unplanned expense come up and we also went eating out when we didn't have that in our budget. So that's how we reality check. So now that we have done our reality checker, we're going to go ahead and set up our debt payoff plan. Our goal is to pay off our credit card. So we're going to go ahead and look at the balance that we have on the credit card and how much of this we're going to contribute towards our debt. Guys, is set up a debt payoff plan. So what is our debt payoff plan? We're going to go ahead and write down the balances on all of our debt we have. So for this budget here, we have a loan that we're working on and we're paying a minimum each month. The loan has a balance of $3,400 with a minimum payment of $340 per month. And then we also have a credit card which has a balance of $4,800 with a $100 minimum payment. So our goal is anytime we have a loan versus a credit card, we want to go ahead and pay off our loan payment, our credit card payment first, because usually those accumulate higher interest rates. So starting September, after we take care of our bills and expenses, we're supposed to average having, let's see what I had here. It was $1,558 according to our weekly budget. So $1,557, we're just going to say $1,558. So we're just going to make a plan as if this was our cash surplus, and then we're going to go back to our debt tracker and break this down. So guys, if our goal is to pay off a credit card, right? We want to pay off our credit card and we also want to build our savings at the same time. We can break down our cash surplus each month. So what we would do is we're going to put $1,300 of this towards debt each month, and we're going to put $258 in our savings, just because we want to get these credit cards or our debt paid off quicker. That's what we're going to prioritize. We're still going to be paying $100 minimum, but we're going to put $1,300 extra towards this credit card for the next 4 months. We want to get this paid off by December. So we have a $4,800 balance. If we go ahead and put $1,300 to that card each month, September, October, November, and December, we're going to put $1,300 towards this card. So after we take care of all of our bills and expenses, $1,300 of this would go towards our card, because this is our main goal, is to pay off our debt. So it would take us 4 months to pay off. So guys, we're still going to be paying this $100 minimum on top of this $1,300, putting us at $1,400 per month. On this card, the minimum will cover our interest. If we take $1,300 times 4, we're going to get $5,200. So if we take $5,200 and we minus it from $4,800, we'll be able to put $400 in our savings once we finish that off, which would be a nice holiday gift to ourselves. And then we were also putting $248 aside for the last 4 months in our savings as well. So guys, I'm just showing you how setting up a budget, you can set up your debt payoff plan, and then we're going to say what actually happens for the month. So $1032 would go in our savings if we stick to this budget. All right, so that's going to be our payoff plan for the credit card. Once we pay off the credit card, we no longer have to pay this $100 minimum each month. So that $100 is going to go back into our original cash surplus. So starting January, we will go ahead and add $100 to this $15.58, giving us $16.58. With $16.58, we'll do the same process and we're going to work on paying off the loan. Keep in mind, guys, we're still paying the minimum on the loan of the $340. We're just rounding up and acting as if we didn't pay anything to cover any interest that accumulated. So we'll do the same process we did before, and we'll go ahead and put $1,300 of this towards debt for the next few months, and then we'll put $358 in our savings, so that way we can build a savings and pay off our debt. All right, you guys, and that's our debt payoff plan. $8,400 divided by $1,300. We're still going to be paying this $340 minimum, but we're going to act like we aren't to cover any interest. So January, February, March, April, May, June, 2, 4, 6, and July. That's how long it would take us to pay off the loan. And we're going to be putting $1,300. And remember, guys, I'm quoting for worst case scenario. We're technically putting $1,640 to this card for the next few months, so we may pay it off quicker. $1,300, $1,300, $1,300, $1,300. All right, 1,300 times 7 is going to give us 9,100. 9,100 minus 8,400 is going to be $700 in our savings. And that means we also put $358 in our savings for the last few months. $358 times 7 months it was. It's going to be $2,506 in our savings. So we'll be debt free by August of the following year. Isn't bad. And then now we no longer have to pay this $340 minimum each month, so we're going to be able to add $340 back into our cash surplus, which is now going to be $19.98 each month. So why did we do this, you guys? So you can see what your debt payoff plan is. So now let's go back to what actually happened for the month before we touch our savings checking jar. So according to September, for this budget, we only have $14.17 left over. Are we still able to reach our goal to pay off $1,300 for this credit card according to this budget? Absolutely. So how do we set that up in our debt tracker? With the cash surplus that we have left over for the end of the month, we're going to be working on paying off our Capital One credit card. How do we put this in our debt tracker? We're going to put the debt type as a credit card. Our starting balance is $4,800, right? Our starting balance is $4,800. I'm going to say, you put your credit limit and all this other stuff. I don't know what it is, so I'm not going to put it on here. And then our minimum payments we're paying on it is just $100 each month. And our goal is to pay this off by, according to our debt payoff plan we set up, by December. So our cash surplus, according to our September budget, is going to be $14.17. With $14.17, we're going to go ahead and put an additional $1,300 towards this card on the end of September after we cover all of our bills and expenses. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take $4,800 and we're going to minus $1,300 because we're going to put out of this cash surplus, according to our debt payoff plan, we're going to put $1,300 of this towards our debt. So the next month, $4,800 minus $1,300, we'll have the balance at $3,500 starting October. So let's go back to what we actually spent for the month, which is $1,417. If we put out of that $1,417, $1,300 of that towards debt, that gives our savings tracking jar only $117 going in our savings. And let's say our goal is to save $4 grand. That's how much will be going in our savings this month. And that's how easy it is, you guys. Alright, you guys, so the last thing that you're going to do is to write your monthly reflection to see how you did for the month. What were some obstacles you faced? Did you have any unplanned expenses? What was your biggest accomplishment? And what's one major goal that you have for the next month? So now we're going to go ahead and do our monthly reflection. Thinking about your monthly reflection, you're going to go ahead and look at everything. So did you reach your goal for the month? So the goal was to put some money towards the credit card, and your goal could change every single month. It doesn't have to always be the same. Like, let's say you have a goal of getting holiday shopping done, or you have a vacation coming up, or you need to do something for your kids, or whatever the case may be. So our goal, we can't pay off the credit card in full, but our goal is to put money towards the card. So did we reach our goal? Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and put yes, we did. And what were some obstacles you faced this month? And we're going to put eating out / impulsive spending. Did we have any unplanned expenses? We sure did. Yes, car repairs. And it did by $100. Oopsie, I almost put $1,000 by $100. What's your biggest accomplishment for the month? Putting $1,300 towards the credit card. What's one major goal you have for the next month? And we're going to put to set a small spending budget. So that way we're prepared to have some spending money where it doesn't throw off our budget after seeing how we did for the month. And that's as easy as it is, you guys, to use this budget planner. You're going to do this for the next 12 months. We did our calendar. We wrote down our goals for the year. We did our calendar. Sorry, guys. Hopefully the camera focuses here. We did our calendar, our monthly budget, our weekly budget to see how much we actually have left over each month, wrote down our bills, did our expense tracker to see how much we actually spent for the month, used our money that we had left over from our reality checking page to pay off debt, put some money in our savings, and set up a game plan to pay off our debt based off our numbers that we average. And then we wrote down our reflection to see how we did for the month. So you're going to keep going for the next 12 months. That's as easy as it is, you guys. So if you're looking for the best budget planner to start your 2025 with, or just end your next few months so you could see some goals, this budget planner, we do have 4 different color options available. Very simple and easy to use. Of course, you guys can get these planners at JuliaCreations.com. I hope this video was helpful for you and your budget journey. To all my new clients, my returning clients, or anybody that's trying to find their way through their finances. Remember, guys, your budget is going to be your budget, so these numbers may look different for you, but this is a perfect example of a monthly, weekly, and a debt payoff and how to use every single page in the planner. I hope this is helpful, you guys. Make sure you like this video and hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye, my loves.